Hello everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing DmC Mission 4. It's called Under Watch, and it's going to take place largely in venues like this, these old towns. I have the brightness up a little bit too much. I'm sorry about that. We have, I think this chapter breaks down into about 3 large waves. There's one wave in the beginning that I was really surprised that it lasted so long. And when it actually comes up, I'll show you where it starts. It starts with the Frost Knight. They're not that tough, but the wave just keeps going on, and even through multiple cutscenes. I mean, there's a point where all of the action dies down, and you're supposed to take out the cameras. There's 3 of them, and I just assumed that there was a checkpoint, but just to make sure, I pressed the start button to see how much time had elapsed since the last checkpoint, and it was like, I think it said something like 8 minutes or maybe 10 minutes. So I did use a gold. What are they called? The gold eyes or the gold orbs. But that was all I did use. And I didn't want that item in my inventory either, because when I die, I don't want to have to be asked if I want to use the gold skull. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I don't like to be asked, and by default it puts it on yes, which is strange because in the other games it defaults to no, because you're always quickly pressing buttons to continue playing your game, and it's very easy to accidentally use it. But I did use it on purpose, mostly just to get rid of it, but also because it's a tough wave. So, other than that, I don't see myself using too many healing items in this campaign. But once you get to that stage, you're really going to have to try not to get damaged too much, try to preserve your health. There are some healing pods on the sides of the buildings, a couple of them. What I like is that once you get those pods, if you die, they'll be on the walls again when you respawn. So, it's really, really nice. But that wave really surprised me, because I must not have died on it in the previous games, where I would have noted, my lack of, the huge progress lost in that area. So these guys are devil triggering, and this game is pretty repetitious, I will admit it, but it's a fun game, and they managed to break it up with a lot of platforming, and I don't think there's any puzzles, except there is one really stupid fucking puzzle. Oh man, sometimes you just cannot get out of the way of the chainsaw. Sometimes the blade is just destined to get into your body, start cutting you up. These are the shielded pathos enemies, though. Watch out for them, because they'll shoot that laser at you, which gives off chip damage to your character. So with these guys, you notice how they don't. A lot of the enemies on this game, like the difficulty, I think the enemies would speed up on the other Devil May Cries. But this game, it leaves that alone. It does give it gives enemies new moves for sure. What I'm trying to do though is do that right there on those guys, those shielded pathos. I'm trying to shoot them with the shotgun. It would be nice to have some kind of a target some kind of a, not to aim, but just to know if you're hovering over that enemy. I don't know. It's a little annoying trying to shoot an aerial enemy while you're on the ground with a bunch of other enemies. And then they have that charge move, which it's kind of hard to get out of the way of it sometimes. So just give it a really wide berth. So here I'm powering up an uppercut. It hit him, so that's good. Didn't kill him though. I don't know what it is about these games, and also I am playing on the 360, and the reason for that is because I really like I don't know if they're concave or I guess they're concave thumbsticks. They're really comfortable, And I have I hardly have any problems recording on the 360, whereas I get a lot of issues recording on the PS3. And the issues are it's only one issue actually. It's just that whenever I access the cross media bar in the PS3, Fraps stops recording, and I hate it. But with the Xbox dashboard, when you press the center button, it doesn't ever have a problem along those lines whatsoever. So I've been really starting to not like the PlayStation these days. I mean, it's got a nice lighter control, but it's too slow. Like the menus, just to pull up the trophies, it's gotta sync the trophies. It's so unnecessary. I don't know why it takes so fucking long. But I also have a PS4 now, and I haven't really used it too much because there's nothing to do with it practically. But I just picked it up just to pick it up, just to have one. Just because there's no way I'm buying an Xbox shitty one. I don't know. This fucking, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, but I think that's like the worst console I've ever seen. I mean, it's huge. It's not even based on games, so just fuck that piece of shit. So next wave, we have this. What do we have? We have the inflamed Stygians and these harpies here. And I don't mean to offend anybody, because I used to always rag on the 360 and call it too loud. But I've minimized that. I no longer buy 360 games physically, because there's just too much of a chance that the damn device will scratch them. So I just buy digitally. I bought this digitally for $30. And I also picked up all the DLC. Now, when these guys do the lava on the ground, make sure you're in demon mode so you don't take any damage. And it can just be kind of hard to see with all the fire splashing around if you're getting hit. But I should not have dissed the Xbox. I remember really hating on it a long time ago. The 360 is actually a really nice console. But I've just gone away from using the discs. So here's some bugs to kill. Okay, I think we're coming up on that one wave. It's like a 10-minute long wave, depending on how long it takes you. Yeah, this is it right over here. So it's going to start out with a Frost Knight, and these guys are actually really easy, but they're boring as hell to fight. So normally, like 9 times out of 10, they'll throw the ice at you. So just evade that. And what you need to do is just break their shield, and then once it's gone, it doesn't regenerate. So just do the twirling moves. That right there is left trigger, and then holding the B button. I don't like this weapon, and I should explain what that is right there. Once you get enough attacks under the scythe, when you've killed enough enemies with the scythe, it will glow as it is glowing now, and it will deal a little bit more damage to the enemies. I guess it's this is really bright. I'm sorry about that. I guess it's the way to compensate for the fact that there is no like angelic dodge that gives you an HP, a boost in HP power and hit damage points for yourself when you're hitting enemies. Okay, but throughout this whole wave, you should really try to not take too much damage. If you're going to use an item or two, that's okay. I mean, do whatever you want, because items. Just use the items. It was a source of really frustration for me, because like in the other games, like I don't know. There's just a lot of people that frown on item usage, and items will be used in this game, but there's a lot less of a need to use items in this game rather than on the other DMCs. It's just a simple fact, because there's good checkpoints. So just watch out for these guys. They're really crazy when they start swinging their chainsaws. And these guys, ooh, see,
Come on.
See, like when I was running to that pole right there, why does it like detract? Why does it go into the ground? At first, I thought like if you don't get to it in time, they're gonna give you fewer orbs, but that's not true. I checked it, and it just really bothers me. It's like you got to get to the thing fast enough, or it will go away, and you don't get your orbs. But I think the reason why I really like this game is because I'm not a die-hard Devil May Cry fan. You know, a lot of the people were offended that they were even making this game. And, you know, I'm just a mild kind of fan about this series. I would rather play a new God of War or a new Ninja Gaiden, although the new Ninja Gaiden is utter shit. No one would want to play that unless they were really hard up for some kind of a game to play, but no one is that desperate, I don't think. Like, this game is a really fine example of definitely not ruining a series. I mean, they're trying to bring it to contemporary audiences, just like me, actually. When this game came out, I had never played any of the games, and I feel that I didn't really have a right to play this game. And it's just that I would want to play the originals. I just wouldn't want to play a reboot until I had played what it was actually made off of. But this encounter right here, it's pretty tough, because when you're trying to grapple with these guys in the air, you're vulnerable to ground-based attacks because these guys can still hit you. So I think that's definitely a failing of this game. I mean, yes, you can switch whom you're shooting at, but how do you even tell who you're shooting at, really? I mean, there's no marker on the enemies. So I think this is wave 2. No, this must... Well, if you count the Frost Knight as the first wave, which technically it was, so this must be wave 3. But there's going to be a lull in this entire endurance fight, and I just assumed that there would be a checkpoint, but I can verify that there's not, and you could see the literal proof when I press the start menu. After I take out the second eye, I believe. I just check. But to just make sure when they're devil triggered, just make sure that they're not hitting you as best as you can, because they have a damage output boost, and they also have more of a more defenses to them. Okay, so we have this guy here. We got the butcher. No, is he the? No, I don't think this guy's the butcher. I don't know what this guy's name is. I would like to know. I saw it earlier, but I think this guy kills me, and then I use the skull, or maybe that comes later. Okay, no, I did kill that guy, but why isn't there a checkpoint there? I don't understand. So the next thing we're going to be doing is just taking out the 2 eyes. The first one's right up here, and I'm going to go in this room just to get some red orbs. It's actually a pittance. It's only 3 per pod, so it's not even worth it. But I get them anyway. I don't know why. There's one that I can't reach, but you can. I have got it before. Oh no, that's a different room. I'm sorry. It'll be the next room. And I'm going to leave all this in because I just have one long reel of footage.
Over here, Dante.
So Kat over there is in limbo. She's trying to guide us to where we need to go now. And for some reason I I guess that's you don't take damage there. You don't take damage, but it looks like you might take damage, but you don't. So just come on up here now, and then we're going to be destroying the last eye. I love the art style, but sometimes there's just too much going on at any given time. It's kind of like Max Payne. There's just, all of this, too much of the background moving constantly. But I get used to it, and I don't mind it. And I like the art style and everything in this game. I really do enjoy it. I played the demo, and I said, this is definitely a game that I need to play, and I want to play. Okay, so this is the next wave. I also love how it says all the words on the screen, on the street, everything like that. It's just like there's one. Look at that. See where it says? And I couldn't believe it. That's why I'm double checking. Time from last checkpoint, 8 minutes and 20 some odd seconds there. So if you die here, you go all the way back to where the Frost Knight was. So that's pretty severe. So we have this one leader here, and then we've got these blue enemies, which are not as prone to guarding as the red leader is right there. And you might notice that I don't always use the Arbiter. I mostly enjoy using the sword, and I'll use it if I can, even if it's a little slower of a process. I just kind of reserve the devil weapons, not because they're special or anything like that, but I mean they are in regards to how strong they are. But I just think that enemies should be dealt with. If they can be hit with the sword, I just want to deal with them with the sword. I mean, I will change things up just so no one gets bored or anything like that. Here we go, launch that guy up. And now I think we're going to have another butcher. Oh no, we have okay, 10 minutes, no checkpoint. So I just allowed myself to get, I just said, yeah, sure, resurrect me. That's fine. Okay, so what I was doing right there was just moving out of the way. So what I want to do is I want to kill these two harpies here, even though one of them is shielded right there. See, I couldn't even believe it right there. I'm like, there has to be a checkpoint here, but there's not. So you may also notice that when you're in the air and you're swinging at the enemies, you can't just, I guess it's for a good reason, you can't like stagger them forever. I mean, after like 3 hits, you drive them away with your sword, and it's really annoying, but see, it'll happen occasionally. I mean, it always does happen. I just kind of get used to it. But I guess that's a way for the game to not let you have complete control of the situation. Okay, so right here, now that I've got the harpies out of the way, what I'm going to do is just wait for her to throw her knives at me so I can grab each one of them and then throw them back. But as you saw right there, what happens every time is that she goes down after the second one, so you can charge her if you want to. And you definitely want to be swinging at her with the Arbiter, because that is the strongest attack that you're going to get off on her. So there's her obsidian floor-based attack, so just watch out for that. And once she has no shield, you can hit her with whatever you want, but definitely the Arbiter is the thing that will put her down as fast as you can. So now I looked at it, and now you get a checkpoint. I just think checkpoints are important in this day and age of gaming because, you know, it's just we've evolved past throwing the player all the way back to the beginning of the level if he perishes mid-level, just like DmC4. Okay, so I think we're going to fall through the floor over here. Yeah. There's no enemies down here except there is one flame wheel, which will go down with one hit of the shotgun if you have it up enough, if you have empowered it enough via the upgrades. But a lot of the times you just don't even hit it. It's pretty bizarre. But now we're in this cathedral here. The first thing you're going to notice is that two frosts will be on one side. Just do your demon evade and then hit this guy as hard as you can. If the frosts are close enough and they get on the screen, then they will get out of their passive state. So what I do is just go to the other side, and then you have to manually rotate the camera. And the reason for that is because if you're manually rotating it as opposed to centering the camera, then you have to be behind the enemy to grab him after his charge is finished. So there's going to be 3 sets of enemies, and there's one healing pod on the side of the wall. And what I'm going to do is, I didn't use any items here, but I did use the devil trigger at the end, just because I don't know. There were times I died like 21 times in this level. Just, you know, I'm not ashamed of that. I don't care about the score whatsoever. So, you know, I want to do the fight until I'm comfortable that I know what I'm doing and I could, you know, just do it and look good, I guess. I don't know, for lack of a better word. I'm trying to focus on this here. So these guys are pretty easy. You just need to fling them up like that. And I can't remember what the next wave was. Is there only 2 waves here? Because the butcher will spawn. You see where that door is down there? He spawns down there every time. It doesn't matter if you're down there. He doesn't spawn on the opposite side like, you know, one would think it might happen. He always spawns down there, and I forgot that I was down there, and he was right next to me when he spawned. But I'm going to use him to kill the other enemies. And if he is down the hall and your back is to him, he doesn't attack you. Although I'm always wary of, you know, a presence like that. Oh no, we have this wave here. This is a pretty easy wave. It's just, oh, okay, this is the way. See, he was right there. Oh, did he spawn? Maybe both sides of the environment have that door like that. Looks the same. Oh no, they're not. I'm sorry. I thought he always spawned down there. But he's going to throw his blades over to you, so just jump and just let the blades kill the other enemies. He's also got a pretty deceptive throw that looks like it's going to be a ground-based throw, but it ends up being at like chest level, and if you're in the air, you're going to get damaged. So at this point, you just want to be taking out the flying Pathos. The shielded Pathos is my mistake there. And we're just trying to avoid, you know, trying to watch out for the the camera screws you up a little bit over here. That's the deceptive throw that I was talking about. But if we could just get this guy killed, then we can take out the boss of the level, as it were. Okay, so let's latch onto this guy and kill him. Okay, now Surprisingly, did not take any damage there. But I did this so many times that I just needed to do something like that and just end the process. And the explosion won't kill you. It takes off like 5 bars, if anything like that. But that's all for the chapter. And you get a checkpoint right here. And then I'll see you guys in mission 5.